This is Rita, Assistant Professor of Physics, Government College for Girls, Podia Kheda, Fatehpur. In my this presentation, I will discuss the topic Lloyd's mirror, which is an important topic, and it is an important application of interference by the division of wave front. By this phenomena of interference, we can find out the wavelength of light source used. So this was an important mirror which was devised by Dr. Lloyd in order to produce the two coherent sources of light by the reflection of light. So he used this single mirror and he used almost grazing incidence in order to get the two coherent sources in this mirror. This mirror was polished on the front side and it was blacked at the back to avoid the multiple reflections. So we take the monochromatic source of light S from which the light will fall on the mirror. As you can see in the picture, a Lloyd mirror has been taken which is polished on the front side, and by taking the source S, which is considered as the real source of monochromatic light, when the light falls from this mirror from this source on the mirror, it will get reflected and it will move towards the screen. Also, the light is moving towards the screen directly when we get the interference pattern on the screen. Now you can see in the picture that I have also shown the virtual source S dash. How we obtain this virtual source S dash? You see that when the light from the source S falls on the mirror at almost grazing incidence, so that the entire incident light is reflected. This produces the good contrast in the fringes. Now incident and reflected beam of light which interfere have nearly same amplitude. The light after reflection from the mirror appears to diverge from the source S dash, which is a virtual image of the source S. The sources S and S dash, they will act as the two coherent sources. The waves from the two sources superimpose on each other and we get the interference fringes on the screen. The fringes will be equally spaced and we will observe them in the microscope. Now you can see this picture. Here I have used the mirror M and I have placed the screen at a distance L, or you can take it capital D from the sources. Small d is the distance between S and S dash, and you can see that when the light falls from the source on the mirror, it will get reflected and it goes towards the screen, and the light from the two sources S and S dash will interfere. We will get the interference fringes between E and D, right? In this case, you can see that the central point opposite to the point O on the screen, which is here represented by Z, the central fringe obtained on the screen where the geometrical path difference between the waves coming from S and S1 is or S dash is 0, as this central point receives the light only from the source S and no reflected light is reaching at the point Z, so the central fringe at this Z will not be available because only one wave from the source S is reaching here and we are not getting any light due to the source S dash. So that is why we don't have the two waves to interfere to produce the central fringe. So we will not get any fringe corresponding to this central position. However, if we shift the position of the screen at a new position as shown by a blue line adjacent to the farther end of the mirror, you can see I have represented with a blue dot and the line is represented with the blue line. If I shift the screen from this current position to this new position, then it will be at a distance small b from the slit. In this case, you will obtain the central fringe on the screen where I have represented this blue dot. This central fringe on the screen will be found to be dark instead of the bright central fringe. Now, since I have obtained the dark fringe, it means that I am getting the waves from sources S and S dash both, but they are interfering destructively. It means that the crest from one wave is falling on the trough of the another wave. This is the condition of the destructive interference. So I am getting the dark fringe at this blue dot here, means the central fringe is dark. This is possible only if the crest of one wave falls over the trough of the another wave. It means that the phase difference of 180 or pi has been introduced between the incident and the reflected ray. Since no change in phase takes place in the incident light coming from the source S, so a phase change of pi is produced in the reflected light due to the reflection from the mirror, which is acting as a denser medium. So what the conclusion we have drawn, that due to this dark fringe obtained at the center, we can say that when the light gets reflected from the surface of denser medium, then it undergoes a phase change of pi. Now in the next figure, I have shown you the area in which we will get the interference pattern on the screen. You can see that when we get the two sources and S and S dash, then due to this incident and reflected beam, they will interfere in the highlighted region. You can see I have just highlighted this area in which the superposition will occur, and we will get the constructive and destructive interference, due to which we will get the alternate bright and dark fringes on the screen, right? However, in this position we won't get any fringe corresponding to the point O. Okay. So I am showing you the applications of the Lloyd's mirror experiment. We can use this experiment in order to find the wavelength of light used. We can find beta, that is fringe width, in the similar way which we have done in the Fresnel biprism. Small d we can find out, capital D we can find out, and we can just put the values, we can find out the wavelength. Similarly, we can also find the thickness of a thin sheet of the transparent material using this formula, mu minus 1 T is equals to n lambda, in the Lloyd mirror experiment. Now, Lloyd mirror experiment proves that the light beam after reflection from an optically denser medium undergoes a phase change of pi. So, intensity at any point on the screen will depend upon the path difference between the waves coming from two sources. As you know that the phase change in one of the ray has been introduced because of the reflection from denser medium, so automatically the conditions for path difference for maxima and minima will be somewhat different. You can see here, for maxima the path difference will be equal to n plus 1 by 2 lambda, and for minima the path difference should be equals to n lambda, right? So these are the conclusion which we have drawn from the Lloyd mirror experiment, that with this we will observe the interference pattern with alternate bright and dark fringes with central fringe as dark fringe. The coherent sources will be produced due to the reflection of the light, and conditions of maximas and minimas will get reversed, and that will be due to the phase change on reflection from the denser medium. Now let us compare the fringes which we obtain in the Fresnel biprism and in the Lloyd mirror. As you have done both the topics, so you can easily compare both of them. In the Fresnel prism, we have obtained the coherent sources by the refraction of light, and in the Lloyd mirror the coherent sources are produced by the reflection of light. In the case of Fresnel biprism, we have obtained the symmetrical fringes on the either side of the zero order bright fringe. But in the case of Lloyd mirror, as you can see, we have obtained only less than half pattern is obtained in the upper side. In the Fresnel biprism, the central fringe with white light is white, broad and undefined, and in the Lloyd mirror, the central fringe will be black, narrow and well defined. In the Fresnel biprism case, the intensity of two coherent sources which we are using, that will be exactly equal. However, in the case of the Laloid mirror, the intensity of virtual source is less than the intensity of the real source. Now you can see here the path difference conditions for maximas and minimas. For maxima, the path difference condition is n lambda, and for minima the path difference condition is n plus 1 by 2 lambda. And in the case of Laloid mirror, since you know the conditions get reversed, so for maxima the condition is n plus 1 by 2 lambda, and for minima it is equals to n lambda. So these were the conditions, or these were the comparison of the fringes obtained in the two cases. So we have done both the topics, Fresnel biprism and the Laloid mirror experiment. There is an extra advantage of Laloid mirror over the biprism, that we can produce the achromatic fringes from Laloid mirror. What are achromatic fringes? If dark and bright fringes are obtained with white light, right? Generally with the white light we obtain the colored fringes, but if with the white light we obtain the dark and bright fringes, then these fringes are called as the achromatic fringes. So we can say that achromatic fringes are similar to the fringes which are obtained from the monochromatic light. So this was an extra advantage of the Laloid mirror. So you can see that we have done both the topics, Fresnel biprism and Laloid mirror. So thank you. I hope you like this video and you understood the topic Laloid mirror very well. Thank you.